Okay, time for the Palantir weekly update, and I got it pulled up on the weekly chart, and I have the Fibonacci level pulled up as long as my Gann square, and the Fibonacci is pulled up from the all-time high back in January 2021 to the low back here in December 2022, and we can see that 618 Fibonacci level right here. I'll just highlight it for you. You can see that it has not made it there yet, and the reason why is it's kind of getting rejected by my Gann angle right here. It's gotten rejected 2 weeks in a row now, once there and this closing week right here. That's 2 weeks, but it's still looking pretty good overall for a continuation. And worst case, I really see is possibly coming back down to the 50% level, around 25.50 or so, to retest that in order to continue higher, which would also be a retest of this previous high zone as well. So let's zoom in a little bit and I'll put on more indicators for you right here. The Ichimoku, the SMA, and we can see that the Ichimoku, it's still 100% bullish. The cloud is green, right? The conversion line's way down here around 25, 23, the baseline down there, and the 50 SMA and the 100 SMA way down there. So it's really, really, really bullish. And will this really continue? Well, let's take a look at the Bollinger Band here, and we can put that on. We can still see it's riding on the top side of the Bollinger Band, which actually is really good for momentum. So this could continue higher, maybe into next week, and finally push above to finally test that $30 zone where that 618 Fibonacci is sitting, right? So as long as it's still right in the top of this on a weekly candle close, then there is momentum to go higher. And you can see on the weekly chart that the Bollinger Bands are expanding, which is also a good sign for momentum to continue, right? So there's really nothing bearish about this at all. And the only thing that I can see is this angle is getting rejected as a resistance angle, which could put pressure on it to go down to sideways. So we're going to keep an eye on that. If it keeps getting rejected, then maybe it won't get to that 618 fib. First, maybe it'll consolidate lower before it gets to that 618 Fibonacci. So we'll keep an eye on this angle very, very closely going into the weeks to come just to see if it can break. But let's go check out Palantir on the log scale. Yeah, so Palantir on the log scale is the same exact situation with a similar angle, right? It's going up here and it's still getting rejected by that angle. So in essence, it's just going to take more time. But what about the Fibonacci on the log scale? Is there any confluence of events there? So let's just do it from that high to the low down here, just an estimate. And we can see, yes, this is a reason why it's not getting to the 618 on linear scale. It's because the 786 is also the same exact level as that angle, right? So this is going to probably be some strong resistance right here around $29 just because of this 786 log scale Fibonacci, right? So what I really see is possibly more consolidation before it's able to break out, possibly even come back down to test that $25 zone, which here would be the 7-1 fib. So we can see that there's a lot of confluence of support around $25, and you can see the reason why it's hitting resistance of that angle and the 786 at around $29. So once this 786 can be broken, then I can see a path towards this bottom orange arc, which actually meets that the 886 exactly and that angle exactly. And where in time does that meet? Well, that meets right here in September of 2024. So after a little consolidation, I can see price pushing up pretty quickly to this $35 zone where a lot of confluence of time and price are there, right? So we got that 886, we got the angle, we got the bottom of the arc, right? So I can see later this year that this $35 could be the target, right? But it might not get there soon within the next like month or so just because of this 786. Usually the first time it touches it, it doesn't really break free. So it needs maybe a couple more times to test it to finally break free. But be aware that it is possible to come back down to $25. But if it does, I think that would be a great, great opportunity. And that's really where the support is, right? Around 25.50 or all the way down to maybe 24.60 or so. This is the support zone. This is where you want to probably look for opportunities for continuation higher. But yeah, this chart is not bearish at all. It's just approaching some resistance, so just got to keep an eye on this level right here.